In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to build a simple yet powerful AI-powered invoice reminder workflow. This system will help you reach out to your clients professionally without the awkwardness. As you can see, this is the invoice database, and as it's sending out the reminders, it's going to be updating it to say, okay, reminder sent, reminder sent. And you come to the email, you can see it just sent out this email to say due today and 3 days overdue. So I'm going to step right into the workflow and show you step by step how to set it up so that you can save time, automate the follow-up process, and maintain strong client relationships while ensuring that you get paid on time. So the first thing you need here, first of all, is the schedule trigger. So what the schedule trigger just does is that every day, right, you can see at 3 a.m. is going to trigger the workflow. So what it's basically doing is initiating this workflow. Now, the next node here is your date time node. What this node is basically doing is that it is grabbing the date for that day. So that's exactly what it's doing. And it is putting it in a particular format. You can see year, month, date, right? So the output field is going to just give it a name today. So you can see it's going to format the time. If you can see, the initial time was in this format, right? But we are not interested in the hour or the seconds or the minute. So it's just formatting it in that it just gives you the year, the month, and the date. So that's what this node is basically doing here. Now, there are now two parts to this workflow here. The first one is the one that is grabbing the due date and the unpaid. So this is me connecting to my Google Sheet. So if you open up this Google Sheet, you can see this Google Sheet contains the database for all your invoices. You can see invoice 1 to invoice 10 has the client, the invoice date, the date it was issued. You can see the due date. Today is 25th September. So this one is due today. This one was due 3 days ago. So these are the ones we are going to be experimenting with. And you can see the amount, you can see the currency. The status is unpaid. So it's due and it is unpaid. Payment method, the email address of the client. I'm using my email address so that it just sends the email. Now, once the email has been sent, it's going to update to say for the due date reminder has been sent, and for 3 days overdue reminder, to tell you the reminder has been sent. So that's what basically the Google Sheet is doing here. It's just your database. You're doing get row, so you're getting the row where the filters you're using is the status has to be unpaid and the date has to be today, right? So due dates on the day that the invoice is due, there is an email is sent to that client on that day. So that's what this part of the workflow is doing, is grabbing the dates today and is grabbing the ones that are unpaid. So from our database, we have one of it that is unpaid and it's also due today. You can see it is unpaid and it is due today, this is the due date. So once it grabs that, it sends it to Openai, which is the messaging model. We are using Openai LLM here, and you have the prompt here that says you're an AI assistant for invoicing platform, right? So it's going to write a professional email reminder, or this you can use ChatGPT to generate something like this. Now it generates that reminder for you. Then the next node, what the next node is going to be doing is then actually sending the mail. This is the subject. So it's going to generate a subject, it's going to generate a body. Now the subject friendly reminder, that's what you have here. This is the email address of the person that is going to receive it. So you can see it's coming from due date and unpaid. So if you come down here, you can see this is where we are grabbing the email address from, right? The email address for that client, right? So you just drag and drop here. The subject of the email was generated by the LLM, right? So you put the subject here, drag and drop. The same thing, body, you drag and drop, and that's how you get the message. Now, this just says that the message has been sent. Now, once the message has been sent, what this is just basically doing is updating this invoice sheet. So it's going to tell you reminder sent. So if I come back here, that's exactly what it's doing. It's updating the invoice sheet. Now, it needs to ensure that it is the same invoice number. So if you come back to this due date, we'll drag and drop the invoice number. That is what it is using to match it. So it ensures that it is updating the particular invoice that it just processed. You can see reminder sent, and that's how you got this reminder sent that was put here. Now, if you come back to the workflow, the next loop in the workflow, the next part of the workflow is this one. What this one is grabbing is the ones that are overdue. Right, it's not the due date. So let's say it has been overdue. So it grabs those ones that are overdue. As you can see, the ones that are showing overdue here are 2 invoices that are showing overdue. Now, then the next node, another date time node. What this date time node again is just grabbing today's date, right? It grabs the ones that are overdue and it grabs today's date, right? Now, this is important because because of this next node here, what this next node is going to do is going to do a mathematical calculation to say, okay, if today's date is 25th and the due date is 22nd, what is the difference between today's date and the due date. Now it's going to then generate a new field that is called the difference field. So the difference. So this one tells us the difference is 3 days. You can see this one is 140 days. So I'm not going to send out an email for this. This is the only one I'm interested in sending out an email for. So if you come back to this place, right, it has calculated it. Now if you open up this place, this now says, okay, check. Is the difference 3 days? Now, if the difference is 3 days, it's going to send out the email for when it is 3 days overdue. If the difference is 5 days, it's going to send out an email for when it is 5 days overdue. So that is exactly what it's doing. Because it is 3 days, it goes through this loop, comes back to this Openai LLM. This time around, it's going to be telling it, oh, your invoice is overdue, right? It's 3 days overdue. So it generates that message. You can see here it's telling it, is now 3 days overdue because it knows the difference, right? It knows the difference between the number of days, and it sends that message to that client, right? This is the node that sends that message to that client. Once that message has been sent out, this last node, what it just does here is to say the reminder has been sent. So that's how for the due date reminder, you get it reminder sent, and for the 3 days reminder, you get it here to say, oh, 3 days sent. So if I remove all this, and I come here and I delete all these messages and just come here and trigger the workflow. Now it's going to run again. It's going to just go grab the one for the due date and it's going to send out the message. If you come back here, you can see that, oh, it said reminder sent. If I come to my email, you can see it. Of course, it is due today. Now the next workflow has also run. You can see again, this one is for the 3 days overdue. It has sent out this professional email. And then, of course, it updates it here to say the one for the 3 days overdue reminder has been sent. So I hope you got a lot of value from this video. If you liked it, please kindly comment, like, and share so that YouTube can send this to others that may benefit from it. Thank you very much for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.